So I'm giving you a notice right now. This is going to culminate to a lawsuit.
Oh yeah, coming straight out with a drama. So obviously this guy's very pissed and he is on a mission to sue Dolton. Or actually he's on a mission to sue someone in particular. I'm sure you guys can pretty much guess who that person is, okay? So you guys, welcome back. We are picking back up from the last video I put up, and what we're doing is we're looking back on past board meetings when Tiffany Henyard was a trustee, and we're just looking at what type of person she was that convinced the residents of Dolton that they should vote her in as mayor. All right, that being said, let's get into the first clip.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is David Lowry Jr. I'm the president of the Living and Driving Around Black Foundation. I'm also the former president of the NAACP South Suburban Branch. I came here today to talk to the residents as well as this board. It's regarding a situation with a resident that live at 14802 Dearborn. The house that she lives in is infested with termites, black mold. The children has gotten sick, and this house belongs to one of the trustees here in Dolton.
You guys, I think we know who that trustee is, right? So you guys, if you haven't heard about this story yet, this is something that made it to the news. Let me go ahead and show you a little clip of a news segment regarding this.
Rental home owned by a Dolton Village trustee.
Since then, the renter says it's only gotten worse. CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozloff has also learned that trustee is pocketing tens of thousands of your tax dollars for a house that's now unlivable.
Jacqueline Smith and her 2 children called this hotel room home for almost a month. Ever since the Dolton house they were renting from village trustee Tiffany Henyard was slapped with this.
A big red sign that I cannot live there because it's unlivable.
Unlivable mostly because of mold.
All mold.
So yeah, you guys, look at these shoes. It's just really sad. The fact that the mold in that house got this bad where it was on the shoes and the clothes like that, that's really saying something about the upkeep of the property or lack thereof, okay? But let's see what Trustee Henyard had to say to the news about this hot messness. Because you know the news, they're going to be all up in your face and they're going to confront you, okay? Let's listen.
We caught up with Henyard before last week's board meeting. I want to talk to you about that house on Dearborn. Can we do that?
My attorney's right here, so if you got any questions, I have legal counsel. Talk to my attorney.
So you want me to talk to your attorney and not you? You can't tell me how that house failed an inspection in October when it just passed it beforehand?
If you have any questions, talk to my attorney.
So we did.
The inspection process is within control of the village, not of the trustee. She has been instructed by the village attorney to be treated just like any other property owner.
Dolton's attorney says the house's inspection history is under investigation.
So basically, you know, she's going to deny everything. She has her attorney ready. And, you know, and they're accusing her of basically doing fake inspections and using her connections with the village to get her house to pass. Okay. When obviously with all that mold and from what the guy said, the broken pipes, feces underneath, that house wouldn't have passed. The thing about this whole story that really stuck out to me, and I'm sure it'll stick out to a lot of people if they watch this video, meaning the board meeting video, when the guy comes up and he's explaining what's going on, Tiffany's face, okay? Let's listen to the guy from the board meeting explain a little bit more, and I want you guys just to look at her face and her demeanor while he's explaining this very serious issue.
I'm investigating this thing. I've already spoken to my legal team. We are going to address it. And I think that this trustee is wrong. She has not, the kids done got sick. Their clothes got mold on it. It's termites in the house. It's feces under the house. This place is unlivable and she has not did anything to fix the place up.
So you guys, look at Tiffany's face. That is the most disrespectful face you can give someone when they're sitting up there talking about a property that you rented out to someone and their child, And then that person in turn ends up getting inconvenienced. They end up having to stay at a hotel. You know, they had health issues because of the mold. And this is the attitude she's showing. I just wish more people would have seen this and actually paid more attention to her behavior before they went to vote. Because there's so many things in these old board meetings and so many red flags that are just there that people either chose to ignore, for one, if they were there, or people didn't see because they didn't do their research on who they were voting on. So let's hear a little bit more about what this guy has to say.
I've had an opportunity to sit back and listen to this trustee talk about being here for the community. But when I get a call and I have to come and deal with an issue where children are involved, it's a health issue, I got pictures, I got everything. The problem that I'm having, Mr. Mayor, is this trustee used her influence to get this house to pass inspection, and a dog shouldn't live in it. The sewage line is broke. There's feces under the house. If you think I'm lying, I got pictures. Because this is about to culminate to a lawsuit. And then we're talking about a trustee who is a slumlord. And that trustee is Ms. Henyard.
Just go ahead and call her out, because she has no problem calling other people out. So these accusations about her being a slumlord is just another testament to her character, okay, and how she feels about people and their well-being. Because, you know, we hear it all the time from her, right? I love the people. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. I grew here. They flew here. You know, she's always saying she's there for the residents. And even earlier in this board meeting, she went on a whole grandstand about how Dolton comes first. Okay, but this property is in Dolton, right? Let's go ahead and hear a little bit of that earlier grandstand.
It's about making sure you came to support, but yet my board is not doing that. My other issue, people saying they had 1,000,001 things to do. Let me tell you something about Dolton. I grew up out here. When you got 1,000,001 things to do, you make plans for Dolton first. I don't care about what you got to do outside of Dolton. Because you ran to sit here, you need to show up and show out for your people when we need you. That's it. That's it. That's all.
Sounds nice. Well, why couldn't you be there for that tenant when she needed you? When she needed you to make sure that that house was good for her and her daughter to live in. Those are the accusations. I'm just stating, okay? So you guys, as you can see with Tiffany Henyard, we have this common theme of hypocrisy, right?
She was put on the news about this house. She came in and she used an inspector and the city. So I'm saying today, how can we sit back and have all the problems that we have in the community, and elected officials are allowed to own property and use the city to approve a place that should be abandoned? And Ms. Henyard, I talked to you today. You also lied about a lot of things. But I'm saying, well, you also told untrue statements about this house. And I guarantee you, this is going to cost the city of Dolton some money, because those inspectors who approved this house violated the city trust of the citizens. And no telling what else that they've done for these elected officials to make money off people in the poverty. So I'm giving you a notice right now. This is going to culminate to a lawsuit.
So you guys, Tiffany and company was getting herself sued and the village of Dolton sued even back in the day. And like I said again, it's because she just doesn't care. And she doesn't care because in her actions, she moves in a manner that only benefit her. And she doesn't care about the aftermath of her actions and the people that it affects. And she has no remorse about it. And you know, her personality traits are something I discussed before in previous videos into why I feel, and this is my opinion, that she's a narcissist, and I feel she's a sociopath as well. Now, I personally feel she fits the label of a sociopath because one of the traits I read really relate to her. So people that have this sociopathy trait, they may have difficulty distinguishing right from wrong and may act impulsively, lie, or break laws. Okay, so let's pay attention to that last part. Break laws. So this is going to segue us into this next example that I'm going to show you guys. So this board meeting took place in 2016, and I just want to show you a clip of what Tiffany was talking about all the problems in the village. Let's listen.
Trustee Henyard, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
You pretty much keyed on everything I kind of wanted to say, but you guys, we really, really need police officers. It's that bad. And what I mean by that is, I went out of my house the other day, and a resident came up to me crying because they was held at gunpoint. I don't want to ever know what that feel like. I could just imagine what she was going through. The other issue is a lot of residents' cars are being broken into. Like literally every other day is someone's car.
So you guys, this sounds all good and dandy, right? Trustee Tiffany Henyard being concerned about the residents once more, okay? But wait, what do we have here? Just a few years earlier from this board meeting took place in 2018, but look at this mugshot of Tiffany Henyard. And what was her alleged crime? Criminal trespass into vehicles. Okay, so she was breaking into cars as a trustee, mind you, because she was still a trustee. So I don't know what happened. She might have had some connections because she was still able to keep her position as a trustee, you guys. I don't know if people realize the true impact of what happened, or maybe a lot of people didn't even know. I say this because another thing I found interesting when looking at these board meetings. So there was another board meeting, and I'm going to show you a clip from it because I think it has something to do with how Tiffany Henyard's record was buried, and it didn't come up until later on after she was fully in the mayor's position. Let's watch.
Expungements. Dorothy Brown, the clerk of the Cook County Court, is having an expungement seminar on June 4th. Myself, Stan Brown, and Mike Smith from Dixmoor, we all joined up with her, and we're having an expungement on May 14th, which is a Saturday, at New Zion Church, which is 14200 Chicago Road. If anybody have a background, felony, misdemeanors, or anything like that, you might want to attend that just so you can get the help that you need. Anybody in the state of Illinois can attend that. You don't have to live here in the village of Dolton only. End of my report. Thank you.
So you guys, even though this board meeting took place before she broke into the car or cars, I don't know how many it was or if it was just one, this kind of gives us an idea that she knew where to go, and she had a hookup, so to say. And I say hookup because in one of my recent videos, we saw in the beginning stages of Tiffany being a mayor, she hired Dorothy Brown on as her interim village administrator. So maybe that could have been a way of Tiffany repaying her for being able to keep this little criminal background kind of on the hush hush, or kind of wipe it clear. You know what I'm saying? That's just my assumption. That's what I get from it, and it's my opinion. I'm going to say that for the record. Okay. But you guys, let me know. Let me know if her ties to Dorothy Brown and knowing how people get their records expunged had anything to do with the fact that maybe a lot of people didn't know about what happened before they voted her in as mayor. Or do you feel like people knew and people are just so forgiving that they went ahead and looked past that too? It would be really hard to believe that, but people forgive a lot of stuff, okay? For the sake of identity politics. I'm just gonna say it, okay? You can agree or disagree, but I did make a video on identity politics as well. If you guys want to check that one out, go ahead, give it a look. And like I mentioned in that video, I'm not a political scientist, okay? I'm not a psychologist. I'm neither of those things. I'm just someone giving my opinion on situations that I've seen play out before me. So you guys, once again, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.